Jayden Brailey in his 100th NRL game tonight. I've seen Jayden come through. He's a tenacious player. He's had the ups and downs in that 100 games, but boy, is it nice to see him achieve that milestone. A wonderful young man with a hell of a lot of ability and really starting to put some back-to-back games together this year, and you could see his impact last week, getting the Knights their first win in over a month at Campbelltown.
The serious Achilles injury to begin the season, of course, played 69 games for the Sharks. 31 now for the Knights, Anthony Milford. Also out there will be a Dolphin in 2023, renewing acquaintances with Wayne Bennett, who will be the inaugural coach for the Dolphins next season. Out comes Adam Reynolds, proud Indigenous man himself, with the jersey on tonight. It's a bright and colourful one with the deadly choices across the front of it as well, and he can be deadly at times, Adam Reynolds.
Well, he's going to need to be. It's been a fall from grace. Can you believe it? The Broncos, who were sitting in 4th position, looked certain to force themselves into that all-important top 4 position. A great win over the Parramatta side 3 weeks ago, and since then they've lost both games, and Reynolds has been relatively quiet. And with Tamare Martin back into the side tonight, he adds a lot to their stocks, there's no doubt about it, but it's all eyes on Reynolds to try and rescue their season. At the moment, sitting in 8th position, currently sitting in 8th. It's been unbelievable.
He's back from breaking a jaw back in round 16. It's Tamare Martin, and of course tonight again, Paul Green has a special place in the hearts of everybody at the Brisbane Broncos, and we will pause now once more in his memory.
We extend our condolences to Paul's family, friends, and the players and officials he inspired and mentored throughout his remarkable playing and coaching career here at the Broncos and beyond. Please stand for a moment's silence as we remember one of the game's best, Paul Green, Bronco number 136. Thank you.
Paul played 5 games in 2004 with the Broncos before he retired from the NRL and moved on to a job as an assistant coach with Wayne Bennett, a skills coach as well at the Broncos. And once again, our thoughts with Paul's wife Amanda, children Emerson and Jed, and indeed everybody, all the family and friends of Paul. It has been such a tough week, and our hearts are heavy in the rugby league community. For the Broncos to get things underway here at Suncorp Stadium, such a big game for them. A win tonight takes them to the edge of qualifying for the finals. What a season it's been in 2022, and this man who will get things underway, Adam Reynolds, has been a massive part of the turnaround for this Brisbane club. Not a huge crowd here tonight against the Newcastle Knights, with some no doubt still making their way down Caxton Street to swell the numbers as Adam Reynolds gets us underway. The kick will go down to the southern end of Suncorp Stadium, fielded there by Adam Clune, who's back in the side tonight for Jake Clifford. And the Broncos try and muscle up here and limit the metres as the Saifidi brothers are side by side once again. Daniel takes a carry after Jacob got the promotion with the injury to David Clemmer, who was due to make his return, having missed the clash last week. And Frizzell it is. It takes it across the 30-metre line and will play it here 15 short of the halfway line. And Croker finds himself in the starting side in the lock forward role. Mitch Barnett still out for a couple of more weeks with a thumb injury. Here's Brodie Jones. Takes it across the halfway line, tries to bounce away from the tackle of Reynolds, and they'll play it here on the last. This opening set through the hands of Clune. It comes to Milford, former Bronco himself. As part of that 2015 grand final team. Young floats it back, intended for Milford there, finds Croker, and that'll be the changeover. Not the ending they were hoping for. Not a very deep kick from that man at all.
Yeah, opted for the two-pass kick there, Clune out to Milford, and he just didn't get the purchase on it that he would have liked. It was a tremendous set, really easy meters in the opening set of the game for the Newcastle side. Tyson Frizzell just waltzed through the Broncos defensive line, and a little concern early, just a little complacent from the Broncos side as Payne Haas gets his first run of the evening.
He takes it across the halfway line, had good meters earlier in the season, back in round 11 when the Broncos won that clash against Newcastle, 36 points to 12 at McDonald Jones Stadium. Flegler playing it there. Flat was Ezra Mann. On his left-hand side was Capewell. And they take it to the 30. It was a borderline pass, no question, as Reynolds puts it up. Some pressure here on the back three. Tex Hoy in the fullback role again tonight for Kalen Ponga. He was impressive last week in that 14-10 win at Campbelltown against the Tigers, and as Young works it away for the Knights, we go downstairs to Jake Duke.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. A huge game for the Broncos back here at home as they battle for a final spot after 2 straight losses. Conditions tonight a bit slippery here this evening. It has been raining for most of the day, but has cleared up in the last couple of hours, so hopefully that continues. The Broncos, they've actually won 12 of 17 games over Newcastle here at Suncorp Stadium, so it has been a happy hunting ground for Kevin Walters' men. They'll be hoping that continues tonight.
The Broncos have beaten the Knights in recent seasons. It's been by quite a scoreline as well, usually. Milford here from just outside the 40. The kick will go down to Corey Oates, having a tremendous season himself. 18 tries in 18 games so far in 2022, including his return to the Origin Arena. And a fabulous Game 3, which was played right here. So Hoyter playing it. And there at dummy half. Tessie New out of this side tonight with Tamare Martin in the fullback role. And at the moment is Capewell, who takes it across the halfway line. Billy Walters runs to dummy half. Capewell looking for a penalty. Didn't get one there, but a little hunt on the hooter from Anthony Milford as well. Here is Martin, goes to Staggs on the outside there with Bradman Best, and Cobbo's away. Kicks infield. It's an absolute beauty. Oh, too big. In the end, Ezra Mann couldn't get there. He almost reprised his role from Origin this year.
Yeah, well, there you see the bonus of having Tamare Martin back into the side and his ball-playing ability. Reynolds trusts him. He finds him early and gets Staggs on the outside of Beston. Just absolutely smokes them down that far flank with Cobbo and looks certain to just beat Nam. Poor bounce. Oh, that was close, Warren.
He did something very, very similar in Origin 1. Queensland scored off the back of that kick. The Broncos go close right here.
It was this man, Dane Gagai.
Indeed. He was pushing up and followed through on the fabulous kick by Selwyn Cobbo. Just about did it again through the hands of Saifiti. Daniel that was, as Milford brings it back here, stays on his feet. Some good meters beyond contact. The ball comes free and there's a whistle for a penalty.
Yeah, this is a little bit of experience, a little bit of gamesmanship here from Anthony Milford. And it's Ezra Mam, his opposite number, and he feels the hands around the footy, so he just lets it go there. Lets it go and earns his side a penalty. Some really good field position for Newcastle. He's important tonight, isn't he, Anthony Milford? They need him running the football.
They can make a statement here early on. Just on 5 minutes gone, and the Knights get their first chance just outside the Broncos 20. Brayley from dummy half finds Daniel Saifiti, works it up within 10 of the Broncos line. Good right-hand side line set now for Milford. First man option there was Croker, but Capewell was waiting for him. Along with Mam, and they get some help from Payne Haas also. Close to the line. Brayley comes back. Milford has a bit of space there between Ryan James. A starting role tonight with Hetherington coming off the bench, and he is a bit dusty. 5'8".
Tackle 4.
I like the idea, Anthony Milford, just getting an early touch, and often we hear halves and people that have often in coaching staff saying to halves, we need to get a run early, get into the physicality of the game, and Milford just taking on the line. He saw some space, it closed quickly, but good Good mindset from Milford early, wanting to take the big man on with his footwork.
It's on report.
And Flegler just a fraction high there, and he's had his troubles at times this year, Flegler, and they'll afford to lose him at this time of year.
So placed on report here and a penalty to the Newcastle Knights. I've got to say, having watched the replay, I thought it was more of just a head clash between the two of them after James made the initial contact. For the moment, the Knights deep on the attack. Comes back here to Milford, who looks to be okay. Hoy juggled there, almost a knock on by Dane Gagai, who will play it 10 metres out. Milford. Back on the inside there for Daniel Saifiti. Stopped by Walters underneath and Haas over the top. Brayley goes wide. Milford out the back for Clune. Jones is there with him. The pass goes to ground. Best swings it back here for Amari Chihuahua. And now there's another whistle.
Yep.
And this is going to be, I'm sure, on the advice of the independent doctor, saying that Anthony Milford needs to come from the field for the full HIA.
Yeah, well, he stayed down with the contact on Flegler, only a few plays beforehand as Phoenix Crossland gets his first opportunity tonight to come in. He'll jump straight into that 5'8" position. He's really found a home. Phoenix Crossland coming in as that ball playing middle forward either side of half time. And Milford heads up the tunnel with Craig Catterick, the trainer from the Newcastle side. Here we go.
Doesn't help the Knights in attack for the moment with no Milford. Clune back on the inside here for Croker. We've got one more here from in front of the uprights. Brayley goes across to Clune, who grubbers. It's a well-placed one. Cobbo, a lot of work to do here to bring it back, and they feast in on top of him. They stop him to earn a goal line drop out. A good kick for a repeat set.
Yeah, really nice work. Adam Clune down that left-hand side for Newcastle, threads it through beautifully. Cobbo did a tremendous job. Watch his bump here on Brayley as he straightens, gets rid of Clune, bang, just accelerates into the contact. But plenty of numbers there for Newcastle. They maintain possession. This is where I really want to see Brayley. We saw it last week. He stepped up and took control of their attack. With no Anthony Milford on the field at the moment, it's got to be Brayley from dummy half.
Dropout goes 50 on the fly. Clune makes the catch. To Jacob Saifiti, who will work it forward here. The Broncos desperate to hang on defensively, having dropped 2 games straight. Coming into tonight's affair as Frizzell on that right edge runs towards Capewell. Walters downstairs once again. He used up a couple of plays to get back to the edge of the red zone. Clune running at Payne Haas, but he's big and mobile, especially. Payne Haas makes a good stop there. Now Hoy at first receiver. Jones runs to Reynolds. Puts his body squarely in front of the Knights back rower. Good stop by Reynolds. Brayley. A little double pump for Hoy. He goes sideways. Clune, Frizzell underneath him. Ezra Mann makes a good stop, and Hoyter wraps up the ball. Man coming back through the play the ball. Could have given away a set and restart. A kick from Clune off the legs of Walters, and he does well sliding in to come up with possession. And Adam O'Brien animated already.
He knows how important that was. Adam Clune again trying to thread the needle. Just tried to get the kick through, and great work from Billy Walters coming out hard into the collision. And the old trap and scrap as we see Tony Staggs now making some easy meters out of dummy half, and all of a sudden Brisbane now straight on the attack through Cobbo.
If he gets a quick play the ball, such as his strength, can get going quickly, and before you know it, he is gone. Haas. He works it down here, so a chance for the Broncos, who were under so much pressure a moment ago on those repeat sets. Try and ask some questions down here to the Newcastle Knights. Reynolds puts it in the air. Coming forward, Chihuahua is there. Cobbo taps it backwards. Best, though, was waiting for a tap. And he gets one to wind up with possession. The Knights to work it away from their own 20. Nervous looking Kevin Walters. He knows, with his brother, of course, side by side with Alfie on the bench again tonight. It's such a big game for the Broncos to try and get back to the winners list and to put a bit of space between themselves and the Canberra Raiders. They look the team most likely, if somebody is to come from outside the top 8, force their way in by finals time, the Raiders would appear to be that team. got some big games themselves coming up. Some winnable games beginning tomorrow, of course, against the Dragons. What a talking point that will be with no Ricky Stewart as Mario Martin makes the catch. And he'll play it here just outside the Broncos 30. Man, from dummy half. Here is Corey Oates. And the Knights just jumping the gun offside on that right edge of the field.
Yeah, and they've earned this. They were under pressure, under assault on their try line. Some back-to-back sets that they had to defend. They absorbed the pressure from Newcastle. It was a great forced turnover on that final play from Billy Walters. Straight into their power game. Their outside backs, it was Staggs and Cobbo, followed up by Payne Haas. And now a cheap penalty, and all of a sudden Brisbane with a really good attacking opportunity now.
Flegler gets things going with the carry, runs into the Saifidi brothers as Walters finds Payne Haas, stopped there by Croker. In catching mode, just holding him up, trying to slow down the play of the ball. Did a pretty effective job at that. Reynolds, goose step, hands it off to Jordan Ricky. Good stop though by Clune and also Best. Reynolds from dummy half. Finds Ryan James. Runs to Saifidi, bounces off the shoulder there of Tyson Frizzell. Playing for Walters. Haas doing the ball playing. Man back on the inside. Nothing doing though for Martin. Jaden Brayley is there to stop him. And they've got one left, Brisbane. It's Reynolds. Grubbering looking for the uprights. Oh, Staggs was flying. He had a play at the ball inside the dead ball line before it was knocked away from him. And in fact, he was in front of the kicker, Adam Reynolds.
He just had to change his body position because of the pressure from Saifidi. And that was just enough for Katoni Staggs just to miss Tommy's run. Boy, it's close, but I think it's the right call. Tex Hoy doing a tremendous job, wasn't he, accelerating Katoni? Like a flash, he was coming through. And Hoy did a great job. Newcastle repelled the Broncos, and Best now making some hard meters. It's been quite the contest early.
Just a little bit early on his run was Katoni Staggs, and I'm with you. He was just in front of Adam Reynolds. Good call by the officials on field as Crossland filling in for Milford for the moment. Hoy finds Tyson Frizzell. Takes it back into Broncos territory. Brayley down the short side, comes back to the open. Croker charging onto it. Something to stop there for Ricky and also Haas. Knights with two more plays. Clune looks in, comes out. Oh, there's a chance for an intercept. Instead, Chihuahua down the wing, sizes things up, eventually taken down by Reynolds with some help from Tamari Martin. One more play. It goes back here. Clune, another trap. A scrap is on again. Ricky was there, couldn't come up with it, and it should be six more for the Knights. It is.
Yeah, they're doing a good job, the Brisbane side, just getting in the road, making it difficult for Clune to be able to get that ball through the defensive line. Some concern from Katoni Staggs, jamming in really hard. It's a number of times Newcastle have caught him infield.
He's looking at jamming and making a tackle. If he had eyes on the ball, he takes an intercept on that previous play. Katoni Staggs, set restart here for Newcastle. Brayley comes out to Clune, so Reynolds coming out, let the ball bounce. Now Best puts Cobbo under pressure. Oh,
that's a touch by Brisbane.
He's a great rugby league player. I don't know if he has much of a career beyond his footy career in the Premier League.
I'm sure looking at that, Warren, he mightn't, but I don't think he realised how much time he had. He may have had time to shield that ball dead. Bradman Best kicking on the first tackle. That was audacious. And lucky for that man, Selwyn Cobbo, he just got enough on it. But Newcastle, they're sustaining possession here.
Oh, and a terrific dropout by Adam Reynolds. Just drills one low, skidding across the surface.
Yeah, good is he.
As Jake Duke said, a bit of rain in Brisbane throughout the afternoon. That was an awful one to try and take.
He is a magician, isn't he? Like, his kicking game, he's got all the tricks. He has got them all, and he's comfortable at any stage to pull them out. That was a big moment. He knew his side was under pressure. Little halfback just taking that moment by the scruff of the neck and driving it into touch and getting the footy back for the Broncos. That was classy from Reynolds. He's had moments like that all season, hasn't he?
All season. He's produced the moment to come up with a big play just in the nick of time for the Broncos on so many occasions. See if he can produce something at the back end of this set. And the Knights under pressure as James hits and spins. Hetherington anticipate coming around about the 20 to 25 minute mark as they go left. Chance there, Capewell shifted on to Deloise Hoyter. Played at centre earlier in the season. Has been more on the wing in recent times, filling in for the Broncos when Cobbo was out with a concussion affair off the back of the Origin series. Here is Ezra Mam, stopped pretty comfortably though by the rushing defence of Dane Gagai in particular. Last play here, Walters back to Reynolds. Really nothing doing in the set. Now Reynolds under all sorts of pressure. Boy, from chocolates to boiled lollies for Adam Reynolds.
Yeah, and it was his former teammate, Dane Gagai, just tearing out of marker, getting some pressure from the inside. I don't think Reynolds saw him coming. Big plate from Dane Gagai. I must say, other than that opening set where Selwyn Cobbo went down the outside, Staggs comes rushing out. The Broncos defensive line up hard here. They're moving well, the Newcastle defensive line.
Now best to try and work it away as they take it back towards the halfway line midway through this set. Not doing in the early plays. All Bradman. Best gets up clutching at a right shoulder. A rotten run once again in 2022. He's played 13 games. Missed time with an elbow problem, thumb injury more recently as well, and now no doubt carrying that right shoulder off the back of that contact. Last play here, Crossland puts it in the air. It says to Kamari Martin, I've got this one handled, and is good to his word and takes the catch. We'll play it inside the 20, and here is Hoyter working it forward for the Broncos. No scorers yet. 17 gone at Suncorp. A lot riding on this game. All of it, all the pressure, I guess you could say, on the Brisbane Broncos. The Knights at the bottom end of the table can't be a factor as far as the finals are concerned. They can play the spoiling role, and so far they've been good here tonight. Now Staggs, bustling run from dummy half. Get something going, coming back through the play the ball there. Jones could have given away a set restart. Reynolds, nice strike on this. Tough one to take for Dominic Young. So Tuffy puts it down. Oates with possession. Reynolds is back to the chocolates. And here are the Broncos inside the 20. Martin on a stand, gets an offload away. Mam, Capewell looking back on the inside. Nobody pushing up there. So he'll take the tackle. 5 out from the nice line. Man down a short side. Took a chance there and quickly realised he was in trouble. Was he feeling his lower back in that contact there? Juggle for Billy Walters. Like the magician trying to keep all the plates spinning at the same time for a moment. Mam standing, nothing doing there. They burned some tackles here. Ineffective set so far off the back of the gift presented by Dominic Young. It's Haas. He finds Reynolds, goes out the back. Martin, Best was going in. Cobbo will go in to score points. A mistake defensively by the Knights on this left edge. And Reynolds atones for that error, getting caught with the ball in the previous set. He comes up with the big bomb that gets the mistake. And off the back of it, they go right to score through Selwyn Cobbo.
Yeah, again, it's that error from Dominic Young, and it's Adam Reynolds' kicking game that's proving a headache for the Newcastle side. It was swirling, twisting, turning on him. He couldn't hang on to it, Dominic Young. And what was a pretty ordinary set. Watch the defensive read of Bradman Best here at the bottom of your screen. Just coming in no man's land. He had all eyes for Katoni Staggs. Reynolds deep into the line, waving his wand, and then out the back to Tamare Martin, who he's formed a tremendous combination with. And if they've looked vulnerable anywhere in Newcastle early, it's been on that left-hand side with Chihuahua and Best, and that's where they go, Brisbane. And that big smile, Selwyn Cobbo in the Indigenous jersey, lighting up Suncorp Stadium. What a try from Brisbane. They're on the board early.
Indeed they are. And their regular sponsor, Kia, giving up the front of the jumper to Deadly Choices. You can go to deadlychoices.com.au to find out more about it. A deadly choice is a healthy choice. And of course the Broncos, one of their good partners is the Institute for Urban Indigenous Health. And they've had some fabulous Indigenous stars over the years. And this young bloke on the right wing, he could be anything.
He is a He is an absolute beauty. So's this bloke, Adam Reynolds. Chance to turn 4 into 6.
And the conversion is arrow straight. No bend at all. After almost 20 minutes of action, Kevin Walton still looking a little nervous up there in the coach's box, but feeling perhaps a little more comfortable, Jake, that they lead 6 points to 0.
Yeah, great start for the Brisbane Broncos. A better start than they've done over the past month. They've actually conceded the first try in their past 4 games. So Kevin Walters will be happy with Selwyn Cobbo crossing there. Bad start for the Knights, but good news for them that Anthony Milford has passed his HIA. You see him there on the bench. He's got the card in his hand. He should be able to return to this game very, very soon.
Stay on side here.
So the Blacken in the legs, ticking over alongside Sami Solo for Newcastle. Brisbane lead it 6 points to 0. It was a quarter of the game to somebody to crack the scoreboard, and Thomas Flegler it is placed on report. I don't know that he has much to worry about on that contact with Anthony Milford that forced Milford from the field. The Broncos to work it away as James plays it. Here is Haas. Takes it down to the 30, and the Broncos roll up their sleeves to try and make as many metres here as they can and try and get things really going and make a statement off the back of the try they've scored. Here is Milford with the HIA interchange card in hand. No surprise, I think, that he's passed that test. Be back in a moment or two here once they gain possession. Reynolds, not the strike he was hoping for. Young and a bit of pressure all the same, though, having put down the previous one. Brings it back, boy. He's an absolute giant. You get a real impression of his size as he comes back to the middle there, and against some of the bigger forwards on the field, he still towers over everybody. Milford is back. And the Knights to work it away through Tuala.
Just watching that previous set and watching Tomato Martin and just the confidence that he brings to this Broncos side. With him in the side this year, their strike rate has been tremendous. And whilst he doesn't have that tackle busting and blinding speed that we see of some fullbacks, he just fits this Broncos system. He makes Reynolds look comfortable. Brayley now darting for 10 or 15 metres out of dummy half. It's been a good start again from Martin back at fullback.
Pursuing the troops. Got to go left here. Another kick for Oates, who is the target of the evening, it would appear. They've kicked to him almost exclusively tonight. I guess they figure they don't want Selwyn Cobbo bringing it back on a kick return, using that big fend of his and really getting the set going on play number 1. Martin, just to his right-hand side. Cobbo was there pushing up for a carry, but Martin just takes the tackle. Now Reynolds. It is Cobbo who takes the run just outside the 30. Couple of plays remaining in this set. Flegler for James. Stopped there by Croker around the legs. Frizzell trying to slow things down as Walters finds Reynolds. Kicks to the air. It's a beautiful spiralling torpedo. Bit of work to do there for Tex Hoy as he adjusts to the flight of the ball, but he's a good athlete. And as we said, coming off an impressive game last week. Again filling in for Kalen Pogger in that win against the Tigers. Nice things going here. Now Young trying to follow suit. He's off to Hull FC next couple of seasons in the UK. Says the plan is get as much footy under his belt. With Kalen Ponga in front of you. Hard to get regular game time, so good move, I reckon, for Tex Hoy to head to the UK. A couple of seasons there and then come back and find a slot, whether it's at the Knights or somewhere else. But he's a full-time first grader somewhere. There's no question about that. Here's Crossland at the halfway line as Brayley waits at dummy half. Milford. Again, kick, not much depth on it. Second time he's done that. It's coming forward, lost it out the back with a touch of Knight. It did. Came off a Knight first and then went backwards. Oates doesn't believe it. See if they want to challenge this. It looks like they'll just keep their powder dry for the moment. Made the catch initially and then just in the contact there of Frizzell.
Worth a challenge. Worth a challenge.
Watch it here. Well, maybe off the chest there of Frizzell.
Yeah, quite possibly. They're in control at the moment, Brisbane. I don't think they'll waste their challenge just yet. I'm really liking the look of this right-hand side for Brisbane. I think they're in for a big night. Cobbo's got hat-trick written all over him.
See if the Knights can respond. It's Hoy. Inside, was chased there by Walters hard from the scrum, and going to push out from the lock forward position and drag down the fullback.
He's doing some real tidy work, Billy Walters, at the moment. Some really nice clean-up work.
More tackles than anybody else on the field for the Brisbane Broncos. Saulo is out there, takes it down to just outside the 10. Brayley looking for a run. Finds Milford. Clune is there with rubbers. Jones trying to push through in traffic. Nothing doing for Martin. And again, they forced a goal line dropout.
Yeah, he's second one of the night. Adam Clooney's tried a number of times to just thread it through that defensive line. A little bit wider this time, and he was able to squeeze it through. And the Brisbane defensive line doing a good job of just getting in the road of some of those runners and protecting the ball. Martin did well to clean it up in the slippery conditions. They've certainly dominated some possession, haven't they, Newcastle?
59% of the ball to this point. And third dropout for, still looking for their first points.
He's got again.
Reynolds goes to, wow, best again. That was a, as they call it in baseball, a line drive, flat and hard, straight at Bradman Best. And his eyes must have been as wide as dinner plates as it came towards him. He made the catch. Gets up a bit of a limp, and there's a, well, Kobe Hetherington, no surprise, underneath there, making the shot on Saulo. Fresh on the field as Kenny Walters goes to his bench. Clune wrapped up there by Reynolds. 7 on 7. He takes him to the turf at the northern end of Suncorp rather heavily. Brayley for Crossland, who stays on the field. Smart Milford coming back. Crossland moving into that ball-playing lock-forward role. Here is Saifidi. Daniel, that is. Good stop again by Billy Walters. 2 plays remaining. Brayley for Clune out the back. Milford. Wide ball. Chihuahua can't hang on to it. For a moment there, it looked like they might have had some numbers. At least half a gap the Knights, but the Broncos slid well. And the pass straight across the chest of that man.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was the cutout pass that was needed here. If they've just gone through the hands, I think Best was able to drag in Selwyn Cobbo and potentially put Chihuahua over in the corner. You just saw on that previous set, and finally, if you're a Knights fan, you're watching the Knights attack the Brisbane defensive line on their goal line, and it's all just side to side. Finally, Brayley out of dummy half with a couple of lead runners, and all of a sudden you saw Saifidi isolated one-on-one. He goes close. They need more of that, Newcastle. They need more shape around Brayley's attack.
Plenty of chances inside the 20 to this point of the game. They've had 16 tackles inside the 20. The Broncos just 6. It is Brisbane who leads 6 points to 0. Well, Walters forces the ball out the back here, touched by Frizzell, and then put down by Jordan Ricky. So it will come back to the Broncos. Their initial touch was backwards, and then Frizzell coming through at speed couldn't clean it up.
Boy, he's doing it tough. We're not even through the opening half an hour just yet. Billy Walters just keeping the ball alive. It was a great effort from Frizzell. He just couldn't drag it in. Jake Duke saying down at ground level how slippery it's been with the rain we've had here today. That'll be another set now for Brisbane, and you would think at the back end of this set they're going to be in great attacking position. They'd be mad not to come back towards Staggers and Cobbo. They've looked dangerous every time they've been in good position, coming towards their right-hand side.
They can offer here a few sets from the Broncos so far, despite the 6-0 scoreline, where they've lacked a little bit of direction. I think that's the absence of Carrigan. Won't have him back, of course, until round 25 from his suspension. As Corey Jensen is out there, now Mann takes it to the line, and now he loses it, having the tackle been completed, and the Knights will hang on. The ball's a veritable cake of soap at the moment, Mick.
Yeah, it certainly is. Players doing it tough just to hang on to the footy. You can see the sweat there coming off Frizzell as well, but love that from Mam. Down that short side, they opened it up a little bit for him, and he's such a dynamic ball runner. So strong. Just got on the outside of that first defender and tried to straighten off that left foot. Almost found a way through. He has been exciting this year, Ezra Mam. Loved watching him.
They have found their 5/8 for some time to come, given what he's shown in 2022. Here is Chihuahua. Stopped there by Reynolds around the legs. Ricky over the top, and they begin just outside their own 30.
You think of next year, Warren, like don't want to get too far ahead, but you're thinking Ezra Mam and Reece Walsh, some dangerous ball runners.
He'll be part of the Broncos spine for a decade plus.
Yes.
Mam is still just 19 years of age. Reece Walsh only just 20. Massive future, both of them. Daniel Saifiti playing it. Brayley jumps out of dummy half, runs here towards Haas and also Ricky. They'll have one more play. They did an effective kick here. Some of the bombs from Milford left a little bit to be desired. This one better weighted down to the corner. Cobbo is there. He puts it down. It'll be 6 more plays for Newcastle.
Well, it's the first time they've come towards Selwyn Cobbo. All their kicks tonight have been directed early towards Corey Oates, and he's done a great job. This time Milford just straightened off that right boot, turned his shoulders and aimed it towards Cobbo, and they get a result, Newcastle. And again, they're camped down here on this Brisbane defensive line, on the goal line. They need to find points here, Newcastle. They need some confidence. It's got to come from Brayley. It's got to be around the ruck here. Milford and Brayley need to take control of this attacking set.
Given all the pressure they've had, it'll be dispiriting if they come away without points here once again in this possession. Brayley from the back of the scrum gives it to Hoy and jumping very quickly.
Blatant penalty, that.
Looks like, and it will be a set restart. Billy Walters making his case, but he was off well before acceptance is right there. The Knights will play it here through Simi Sasangi, only a metre out from the line. Brayley dropping back up very quickly. Reynolds and Staggs followed him. Good work by the backs on this right edge. Forced the halfback Clune to come back to the middle. Brayley. He finds Saulo charging hard. Walters up quickly again. Helping out in the tackle was Corey Jensen. They're still just 3 metres out. Midway through this set. Oh, put down by Sasangi. I think somebody needs to change the balls. Can you stop playing and order some new balls like you do in cricket, Mick?
Yeah, it's just not happening at the moment. Staggs puts a target on Clune and just charges over the top of him. Cobbo now out of dummy half. There's the error. Just turning it over cheaply.
This game brought to you by Sunlight Soap tonight, quite obviously. It Staggs across the halfway line. Here is Cobbo. Oh, he's put it down. It's going to be a penalty, though.
Slap down, breaks it down.
Out of market.
What a fascinating set from Brisbane. It was Staggs, Cobbo, Staggs, Cobbo. They know where they get their power from. Their outside backs, particularly on this right-hand side for Brisbane, are just lethal. Lethal ball runners.
Well, you figure if they can get through a set of 6 here, a good chance of scoring. Jake Turpin is out there now. He'll take over duties at dummy half. Says to Ezra Mam, I've got it covered. And able to jump in there. Here is Payne Haas. Goes inside the Knights 20. Their only try so far on this right edge, and that's where they come immediately here. Reynolds back on the inside for Hetherington. Well wrapped up, though, by Tasangi, who was under pressure. Turpin was extended. Didn't realise the ball had been played and looked down, and it was there at his feet. Haas goes back inside the 10. They've used up 4. Reynolds on the left-hand side. Martin here on this right-hand side. Nothing doing there. Got monstered very quickly by Clune and also Brayley. Last play for Brisbane. Turpin double pumps it. Now Reynolds goes over the top. Hoyter, but Oates gets there. And Corey Oates scores for Brisbane. Didn't seem to be a lot doing. A defensive breakdown again on an edge by the Newcastle Knights. It was slow in getting out towards Oates through the middle. Turpin's pass wasn't a great one, but suddenly it opened up and Corey was in.
Yeah, again, a pretty average set for Brisbane, but it's this man Reynolds just taking control at key moments. Sees that Dane Gagai is jamming in hard with Milford. Left space on the outside for Hoyter. Just lobbed the ball over the top. Hoyter did well. Let's watch this from Reynolds. Yeah, fakes to kick. That brings in Gagai. Over the top to Hoyter. Young caught out on his own, and Corey Oates gets his 19th try. What a season he's having, Corey Oates. And that Eastern grandstand on their feet and applause. Reynolds dominating. Oh, I've got some question marks on that pass from Hoyter.
Yes. I'm with you there, but given the all clear in the run by the on-field referee, and it's 10 points to 0.
Yeah, the old floater. Just floating a metre forward for Hoyter.
Well, I always float forward, but it's got to be backwards out of the hands. I don't know that it was.
No, I agree. But again, it's disappointing. Newcastle, so much possession, and then all of a sudden they just let Brisbane roll upfield. They give a penalty away. And this man, Adam Reynolds, says he's done all season, just dominating key moments. Gets the ball in his hands on the final play. And brilliant with his decision-making. Just brilliant.
He's kicking. So far, one from one. Inside of the field, he bends it back. Funnily enough, he's a better kicker from the right touchline than he is from the left touchline. I can't work that, given he's a right-footed kicker, but he's perfect just about from the right touchline every time. He's had his misses from the left touchline, but he's good this time around. And it's 12 points to nil. The Broncos looking for their 13th win of the season. That'll take them to the edge of confirming their place in the finals. Maybe one more win to get to 14 would absolutely seal their spot.
Stay
the big
onside here,
games
guys.
in September. It's Clune who gets us back underway. 2 tries for the Broncos, both converted by Adam Reynolds, who's been a big part of what they've done here so far again tonight. Jensen playing. Comes from Turpin. Good stop there by Sasangi, who was up quickly on Jordan Ricky taking a carry. Now Hetherington. Mark says man in motion into space as well. Martin backing up on the inside. They're off and running. Martin sets sail. Looks for Ezra Mam. What a try by the Broncos. An absolute special from Caxton Street all the way to the southern end. They make it 16 points to nil. Martin and Mam, what a combo.
Yeah, absolutely. Tamate Martin back into the side tonight. They've had a wonderful strike rate with him back in the side. They've won 7 of 9 games. He hasn't been there since round 16. And he's been the go-to man. They're trusting him out there. This time he gets himself just out the back in that first receiver position. The defensive line of Brisbane. Dane Gagai caught infield. And Ezra Mam, the long-term 5'8", dominating in his debut season. Shows great speed. Just straightens Milford and Gagai together all over the shop. And Mam, look at him, he's already starting to smirk and smile. He sees Martin come back on the inside. Martin does well. Sums it up beautifully. He starts to feel coming into screen there. Dominic Young was pressing hard. And then a brilliant pass back against the grain, back on the inside. Man, that was beautiful work from Martin. And the swan dive, it's back. It is back, Ezra Mam. What a little player he is. He's a beauty.
He is an entertainer. As we said, a proud Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander man. Hails from Cairns originally. And here last year was part of the dance group, and is still part of the dance group that performed at Suncorp Stadium. Torres Strait Islander dance group, and he's still got the headdress that he wears at times, wax it on at home. He loves it. And here he is, just 12 months later, lighting up their stadium. Jake Duke, that was something to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a freak, isn't he, young Ezra Mam? And the Broncos have got him locked down long term. And what about Tamari Martin as well? It's amazing. Mick was talking about the winning streak when Tamari Martin is in the side. When he is in the side this season for the Broncos, they score 11 points more per game, 29 as opposed to 17. So he makes a massive difference to their attack, and those two are part of their spine and really getting this Broncos attack going in this game.
Well, they're going now, Jake, at 18 points to nil. They'll give the Knights a chance back here. A big shot off the restart. So in amongst the points, they keep putting the ball down. Brodie Jones up there, absolute bell ringer. Saulo has it. Back inside the Broncos 20. Trying to grab something here before the break. They come to Sasangi, who runs towards Kobe Hetherington. Makes a stop at the Broncos 10. Brayley here. He'll find Clune. Jones back on the inside. Nothing doing there, though, as they lay a line set. Restart here for the Knights. Broncos offside on this right edge. Hoy. He finds Saulo. They keep racking up the tackles. This end of the field, make it 23 now that they've had, and still haven't scored. From Brayley, Sasani, short ball there to Jacob Saifiti. Good thing that he was not coasting and clocking off on the job there, just in case that he got a short ball. Here's Milford. Now Hoy Grubbers. The kicking has been effective so far at this end of the field, but not on this occasion. That's a simple turnover and will give the Broncos, importantly, 7 tackles.
Yeah, he'd like his time over again there, Tex Hoy. He had a tremendous game out at Campbelltown last week, arguably the best player on the ground. Yeah, filthy with himself and just too much on the kick. And to me, it's a sign that they're running out of answers, Newcastle. Their ball movement just side to side, just reverting to their kicking game a number of times. They just can't find a way. Brisbane just bellowing with confidence on their goal line as they just keep turning them away. They keep resisting anything that Newcastle are throwing at them.
The Broncos, no doubt, a much improved defensive units, and 2022 to where they've been in recent seasons. They came into this game ranked 7th defensively, but by the same token, the Knights attack, much garden variety stuff they've offered here tonight, and they are 16th in attack in the NRL after 21 rounds. Here is Hetherington taking it forward. Chance for a 4th try here just before the break for the Broncos to blow it wide open. Haas for Reynolds. Flat ball there. Ricky can't hang on to it. Boy, it is feast or famine for the Broncos in this first half with their handling. Their completion rate is going to be pretty ordinary by the time they get to the break, and they've had just 44% of the ball, yet they lead 18-0.
Yeah, they're doing it easy. Their power game, they're just marching through this Newcastle defensive line that's really starting to cave. It is starting to wilter, and they sense it, Brisbane, and they just can't control the footy at times. That's the only thing that's keeping the scoreline in check at the moment. They've come up with a number of errors, as you said. You just get the sense if they can just continue to get through their sets, they're just going to blow Newcastle out of the water, aren't they?
That they are. Bonnie and the boys warming up for the halftime show as we speak.
Back here on the
20
mark.
seconds or thereabouts away. Clune wants to get going quickly here, and they might get a chance at a long-range
Field goal.
trick shot here. I don't know about the field goal. I wasn't thinking field goal. I was thinking about something, a long-range trick shot. I'm not sure what they've got here tonight. The short range hasn't been all that flash. Maybe this is more their distance. It's Milford at the line. They'll spread to the left, ball over the top. Chihuahua on the gallop, reels it in. Good tackle by Katoni Staggs. As the siren sounds, classic covering tackle. Famous Suncorp Stadium to win the first 40. And at the break, it's Brisbane 18, Newcastle 0. They can really pad it here and give themselves some buffer there. Race for those spots in the bottom of the top 8. The Eels and also, of course, the Roosters. Winners earlier today at the SCG against the Cowboys. As the Broncos work it away here, Jensen to begin from inside the Broncos 20. Here is Kobe Hetherington, that slightly awkward jinking style that he has. Now Haas on the left-hand side, picked off here in a solid tackle. Sasani has been good defensively coming off the bench. Plenty of pressure and line speed from the bench forward. Here is Capewell flying through. There was a chance there. Tamare Martin pushing up in support. Didn't get the ball he was hoping for from Kurt Capewell. Now Jensen. Sasani is there again. The power of work in this first set. From Turpin. Comes back to Reynolds. Punches one low towards the corner. Produced a result for the Broncos off a goal line dropout in the first half on a Mully grubbering kick which clean bowled Bradman Best. It was a beauty. Got the Broncos out of trouble. Spent plenty of time inside their own 20 in the first half, but they did a good job keeping their sheet clean through the first 4. Dominic Young. See him in action in the World Cup beyond the NRL season here. He returns to the UK. Frizzell takes it across the halfway line. Brady waits at dummy half. Second last play in this set. Sasani doing the ball play. Clune for Jones. Well handled though by Staggs and also Ricky. And again, it's all very much just one directional. No inside balls or switches of direction. Milford puts it up. Oates is the target once again, as he was throughout the first half. Eloise Hoyter hit the deck there. Play on. Here is the man in question taking a carry as we go downstairs to Jake Duke.
The message from Kevin Walters at halftime, he just wants a fast start from his side. No switch off. Don't give the Knights a chance to get back into this game and clean up some of the errors that we saw in that first half, and he believes they can score even more points. For Adam O'Brien, he thought the effort of his side didn't reflect in the scoreline so far, down 18-0. He just wants better options on the last tackle and to play a bit more football.
Kick through the line again. Right side of the field. He cleans up at his own goal line. The Broncos well on track at the moment to return to the winners list here at Suncorp Stadium. Of course, last start losers against the Tigers when they went down 32-18 back in round 20. That was a remarkable second half on Sunday afternoon from the Tigers. And then last week, soundly beaten 34, of course, 16 by the Roosters at the SCG. So it was pretty much imperative to come out tonight and show what they can do against the Newcastle Knights, and so far so good. It's Brayley from dummy half for Newcastle finds Milford. Boy, they were flat, looking for a kick there. I think one play early, Gagai was anticipating a kick from Milford, and so he wasn't an option on an out ball there. They've got one more here. Brayley will find Milford under pressure there from Ezra Mam. As a result, the kick is not a deep one. It's fielded by Cobbo. Boy, was that pass forward.
Slipped out of the hand. It's been just the start that coach Kevin Walters wanted from his troops. It's been physical and they're carrying the ball nice and strongly, no errors, and just starting to suffocate Newcastle and get on top.
Simon Cobbo might have got away with one there. That pass back to the middle would easily been called a forward pass given the angle Lee had. Now here is Reynolds. Mr. Mann bypasses Capewell. Martin is there, but the Knights had read it well. Nobody jumping in as they did on that long-range try for Brisbane in the first half, where Milford and Gagai both came up empty, jamming in. And Martin and Mann were away. Cracking try they scored from Turpin. Goes back to Reynolds, who puts it up, kick towards the corner. Tuala under pressure here. Cobbo coming through, knocked on by Tuala. Play on here for the Broncos. Here is Staggs for the line. Stopped there by Hoy. Saves a try, a metre out. Turpin looking for an option. Finds Hetherington. They'll burn a tackle here unless Hetherington poked his nose through it. He just about did. Turpin goes short side. Here is Mann. They came up quickly. Tip on there by Staggs. Cobbo hemmed in. Nothing doing, so steps his way back towards the uprights, and he'll play it inside the 10. Still plenty of tackles though off the restarted set. To own the knock on off the bomb. Reynolds nice to ground. I think he thought Martin was hitting that at speed, and Martin was just coasting and didn't get a touch on it. Hoyter cleans up. Ruins the momentum in this set though, and now down the short side, nothing doing there for Martin, so he goes back to Turpin. Reynolds kicks for himself and also Ricky. What a kick it is, rolling across the belly of the ball, which makes it go slower and stops inside the dead ball line.
Yeah, he's got it on a string tonight, Reynolds. That was inch perfect. That out of dummy half, it was Turpin just scheming and looking for something down that short side. There was nothing on, and the ball found itself back in this man's hands. And just watch his low punch. He loves this kick. He's loved it all his career. It's low, it skids in the conditions and sits up half a metre inside the dead ball line. Hoy taking no chances. All that attack at Brisbane, they're just continuing to go at Bradman Best and Anari Tuala, aren't they? They're really liking what they've seen tonight. They are vulnerable on that left edge from Newcastle.
The Broncos only had 45% of possession in the first half, but they're making amends for that here. Lots of ball at this end of the field. From Turpin through Jensen to Reynolds and Martin. Cut-out ball over the top. Cobbo knocks it on.
Knock on Brisbane.
Got a touch there. The ball ended up behind him, but propelled forward, and it looked good until the pass over the top just wasn't on target from this man, Tamare Martin.
Yeah, they did really well. Again, Tuala and Best caught in field, and that time he was in a little tight, Selwyn Cobbo. He was just in a fraction, and Martin had to try and float the ball over the top. He just couldn't get He just couldn't get that trajectory right. He's enjoying himself tonight, Selwyn, isn't he? Well, Win, isn't he? He just always got that beautiful smile on his face. He's just relishing being out there in the top grade.
Playing Origin.
Yeah.
Playing for the famous Broncos, Suncorp Stadium. He's 20 years of age. I mean, does it get any better than that?
No.
What could you do that's better than that as a 20-year-old?
I think he might get himself another rep jersey in a couple of months' time as well. He might be on a plane overseas.
Tell you what, he wanted some company as well. Joseph Suwali, who were rapping enormously in that win against the Broncos on 9 days ago now.
Well,
He was enormous again for the Roosters today.
Mad not to take both. I mean, both of them are going to be long-term rep players, aren't they? So, you know, whether they're in that first 17 or they're there for the experience, they'll both be handy throughout the World Cup, no doubt about it. Good offload here from Saifidi.
Comes back eventually to Hoy. Milford cuts out one, goes to Gagai, but all rounded up there by Deloise Hoyter. Out near the sideline on the last play. No pressure though from the Broncos as Milford poise himself, gets a kick in. Cobbo coming forward, put one down in the first half, but not this time around. He backs up our wraps for him, makes a catch there just outside the 10. Staggs winds up. And the Saints at the battle so far against Bradman Best. And now Jordan Ricky.
And his 5th run of the night, Jordan Ricky. Haven't really seen a lot of Ricky, hasn't had too many chances. Haas again just charging his way through the teeth of the defensive line of Newcastle, already up towards 130 metres with the ball. Payne tonight.
Keep moving, Sam.
He's a weapon, isn't he, Payne Haas?
Massive motor, playing 65 minutes plus every week for the Broncos. Reynolds looking back on the inside, beats Jacob Saifidi, tries to chip over the top. Clune read it well though, and just not the depth or the height that Reynolds was looking for in that little chip and chase. Well, you don't see all that often anymore, of course. Game plans are very conservative to what we used to have back in the old days, Mick.
Oh, the one he did earlier in the season with the regather was as good as it gets.
That it was one of the great moments for the Broncos in 2022. Here's Gagai. Brings it back towards Turpin. 4 tackles gone. Milford at dummy half. Waso Su gets his first carry of the game. It's a chance tonight with David Klemmer out of action. Saifidi brothers again in the front row as they were last week against the Tigers. Milford, high bomb here. Cobbo stands his ground. Makes the catch. Bradman Best happy to let him make the grab. And then they'll force him to play it from inside the 10. So the Knights getting themselves into the wrestle of the game between the 20s at either end so far in this second half, having absorbed some pressure. Ball from Capewell to Mam, and now Oates bounces through the tackle there of Anthony Milford, picks up some extra metres. And Hoyter and the scamper back towards the middle of the field.
He's done that all season, Corey Oates, hasn't he? I mean, we're all talking about his 19 tries as Payne gets his first rest of the evening, and a well-deserved rest. Corey Oates has come up with some tremendous runs this year that's turned ordinary sets from Brisbane's into good ones.
Cobbo's gone into touch again on both edges so far in the second half. Adam Reynolds has supplied some balls which look like very good passes, but the men on his outside, one time it was Martin, and then this time around it was Tony Staggs, just weren't pushing up onto the ball.
Yeah, it won't please Kevin Walters. Their opening 2 sets were exactly what he would have liked. Just the power game, outside backs working hard, Haas and the big men carrying hard through the middle, and Reynolds kicking the footy. Well, the last couple of sets they've just taken the foot off the pedal a fraction and looking for some shortcuts around this Newcastle side. They're not going away, Newcastle, early in the second half.
So from dummy half, Brayley through Sasangi. Goes to Jacob Saifidi, just outside the Broncos 30. There's something going here. Still almost half an hour remaining. You just never know. Broncos giving them chances. On the attack again. As Brayley looks open, goes short. And now ball from Hoy straight to Selwyn Cobbo. Looks up and sees Jones. Fends away from him. Sue got a piece of him. And then Texoy, who supplied the pass, gets back there to make the try-saving tackle in reality. He was the last line. Here's Flegler. The Broncos want to counter-attack of their own. Hetherington almost away. Beat the tackle of Sasangi, and then Jacob Saifiti also. Turpin flat for Mam. Comes out here to Hoyter. Stopped there by Dane Gagai. It had to be made. We've got 2 more plays left. Turpin goes to Flegler. Long pass. Reynolds brings it back inside for Ricky. He wasn't set. Couldn't see what he wanted in front of him. He's flat now on the right-hand side. They go to him. Grubbers back on the inside. Martin is there. Jump, missed, not grounded. And Reece Kennedy, who has just come on the field, might have scored with his first touch.
Yeah, Reece Kennedy.
Just looking to confirm that Newcastle ground the ball and a kick chase from Brisbane.
Yeah, Reece Kennedy spent that set running around like a headless chook trying to get his hands on the footy. And all of a sudden it's Reynolds on the final play that kicks back infield. There's Kennedy. He's sitting right at the black
Tamari
dot.
Martin is onside of the kick chase. We'll monitor any offside players.
Right in front of the black dot, 10 metres out. So he's onside. And as Martin chases, here come the Newcastle defenders.
Simi
not
Sasangi
grounded.
knocks the ball
Not grounded.
backwards. Now just having a look if Tamari Martin touches the
Oh,
ball
he
as
did
well
there.
and knocks it on.
Just there. Good work by Sasangi getting back and putting that
Tamari
left
Martin
hand.
touches the ball and knocks on
Martin's
in the
knocked
in
on
goal.
there.
Yes.
We have a decision.
Right call. He thought he had a cheap one there, Reece Kennedy.
What a gift that would have been. Fresh on the field.
There's a knock
His
on by
first touch,
Tamari. It's
though,
going to be a
against
20.
the red lights. It'll be a knock on in goal. So
So Tamari
been
Martin
a-
touches the ball, so it's a knock on
It's
in goal.
been a day
Tamari
for front rowers, scoring tries. Lodge and Hargreaves in the opening game today, picking up tries at the SCG.
yeah, that's a rare occurrence, isn't it? Both starting front
Hamunueli.
rows.
Yeah, he had the dancing shoes on when he got one in Tamworth a little earlier.
So the man who was there to save the day for the Knights, and Simi Sasangi, will play it here. Signed with the Knights until the end of 2024. I think he's a real prospect, playing just game number 14 tonight in his young career, the 21-year-old. Now Milford goes out the back. Clune gives it to Jones. Hasn't really troubled the defensive line so far, Brodie Jones. He's been well handled on that right edge by Ricky in particular. Soon at the line, Milford chips over the top. Oates going back. Martin is there with him. Corey rounds, beats 2, beats 3, stumbles. When that head gets over the front of the skis like that, it's a long way down given the height he possesses. Otherwise, he was off and running.
There was just nothing on there for Anthony Milford. Looking to kick early in the tackle count. That man there, Corey Oates, well positioned. He just sat himself behind the Broncos defensive line. Tamari Martin was sitting right on top of Anthony Milford. It was a poor play, and Corey Oates, as we mentioned earlier, as he's done all year, great short pass there from Flegler. Got Brisbane set off to a great start.
Hetherington looking for an offload. Nobody was there, so he takes the tackle. Now Reynolds kicks in behind Tuala. Pressure here on Hoy. It's a great kick by Reynolds, or just too big. It'll go touch in goal, and great presence of mind from Tex Hoy to realise that was a chance of going out of play, and he gets the reward he was looking for. And they begin again. Second set. 7 tackles from their own 20. Still no change to our half-time scoreline of 18 points to 0. A couple of important games coming up tomorrow down at GIO Stadium. No Ricky Stewart, of course, on deck with his suspension. The Raiders at home to take on the Dragons. And there's a problem here in the backfield. Kobe Hetherington reeling out of a contact. That's blood flowing.
Top the forearm, I think it was.
And of course, also tomorrow, the Titans and the Seagulls. Well, that's absolutely a must-win for the Seagulls. That's a nasty cut, isn't it? So 2 big games tomorrow to round things out in round 22. Live here on Foxley. And free during play. Gagai takes the tackle here. Oh, a head clash with Suaso Sue. That's the problem for the 2 respective forwards. Jacob Saifiti looking to his outside. He'll just take a tackle there. And the Knights have one more. Brayley for Clune. Chip it over the top. Wanted to hit the deck. If it sits down, it'll be awkward. Instead, it goes too big. And we'll have a stoppage now. There's some attention here for Kobe Hetherington, who's already come from the field, in fact. Oh, you see it there again, and they both opened up.
It looked like it was the forearm. You can see that just starting to slip up there, but in fact, you're right, Warren, it was the head clash. Blood coming out of Sauaso Sue as well, and Hetherington's gone up the tunnel, and that time again it was Adam Clune just a little too much on the chip over the top, and Tomato Martin, tremendous job, didn't he? Showed great patience there, just allowing the ball to bounce. Took a risk, but a calculated one, and it's paid off for Brisbane.
Sauaso Sue in one of his final games with the Newcastle Knights before he moves on to Hull KR next year. Hull FC, and Sauaso Sue at Hull Kingston Rovers. New acquaintances. Northern Town in 2023.
Milford on the much bigger man, Ryan James, coming out left shoulder, just jamming it into James.
Now Kennedy. He gets going. Mentioned again here as James takes the carry, and Milford was there.
Shoulder charge, wasn't it?
Absolutely, I would have thought. Milford gets away with one potentially. Now Staggs, Cobbo in trouble. No room to move in there. He puts it down. And he might have put a foot into touch at any rate before he lost the ball, which is what the sideline official says. It was an all or nothing play here. They were determined to put it through the hands. Martin, Staggs sliding towards the sideline, and he was an easy target, wasn't he?
Yeah, not a lot of room there for Selwyn Cobbo, and that's just that little bit of combination stuff they need to continue to build. It's only a new combination, and it's a lethal one, but I would have liked to have seen Selwyn Cobbo just come back on the inside as Staggs started to run him out of room. He needed to change his angles, particularly in these slippery conditions. Come back in field.
The Broncos have done so much at the back of their forward pack in 2022. A little bit sideways, as you mentioned, Mick, in this second half. I think Kevy Waller's message would be, let's try and get it back through the middle here. Now forward pack, he would back them to get the better of the Newcastle Knights 6. And here is Milford. Set restart. Goes inside the 30, and a whistle as well. And it's for high contact.
Well, they've had oodles of possession, the Knights, in so much good possession, attacking Brisbane's goal line, and they just don't seem to have any answers. They don't seem to know just where the points are going to come from, but you get the feeling if they can just cross once, Brisbane just continue to give them opportunities. There's enough handy players in this Newcastle side that they'll take one, and then they may get on a roll here.
Slow play the ball for Sue as Milford gets going, finds Jacob Saifiti. Taken down there with Turpin around the legs and Capewell over the top. Broncos yet to crack here tonight. Milford at the line, taken down there. Player flashing through the frame. Sauaso Sue, who was pushing up in support. Now Daniel Saifiti for brother Jacob. He'll be stopped there. Again, just easily handled by this Broncos defence. Not much fight in some of these carries, I think it's fair to say. Brayley turns it on to Daniel Saifiti. There's a bit of fight. He goes over the top of the Broncos defender, and they scored eventually. It was Turpin underneath who couldn't stop Daniel Saifiti. They're on the board and still with 21 minutes remaining.
And it's Jaden Brayley that orchestrates it. It's in his 100th game. He's having a tremendous night, Brayley. Around the ruck, just out, scheming, looking for an opportunity. That time he'd used up Jacob Saifiti, who looked to be in some discomfort. And then out of dummy half, just changing angles, and it was the new man, Reece Kennedy, onto the field, just over-chasing on Brayley, and that left some space in behind the ruck and some smaller defenders in Turpin and Martin, and Daniel Saifiti charges over, and the night of props continues, Warren. It's a front rower's night.
There's no doubt about it. Something in the air this weekend in round 22. The big boys are scoring tries, and importantly, the first of the season for that man.
Oh yeah, it's always good. It doesn't matter how long it takes in the season, but you need to get one, that's for sure.
In 2022 is Daniel Saifiti. Anthony Milford converts from beside the uprights. A quarter of the game remaining. Only 2 converted tries the difference. Wiggin stands to Jake.
Yeah, some life in the Knights, and it comes from an unlikely source in Daniel Saifidi. Not just his first try this year, guys. He hasn't scored in 24 games until now. They're going all the way back to round 12, 2021, playing against Manly. So he gets over there to give the Knights some life in this game. But don't forget, tomorrow on the Sunday Ticket, live from 1 p.m, the Raiders without Ricky Stewart take on the Dragons. Then it's the Titans and Sea Eagles at 4. And then you can end your evening with Sunday night with Matty Johns, special guest, Panther Dylan Edwards, and a performance from John Stevens as well.
Only here a fortnight ago when I watched the Tigers roll through this Brisbane side in the second half. Newcastle aren't out of this.
Not by a long shot. Here is the try scorer himself. Daniel Saifidi will play it just outside the Knights 10. 20+ minutes remaining. And as you mentioned, last time they were here in round 20, the Broncos folded in the second half as the Tigers came storming over the top of them. And we'll see how much carry there is in some of these runs by the Knights forwards now. Jacob Saifidi. Stopped there by Ryan James and also Capewell. 2 plays left in this set. Milford didn't need one of the kicking options, taking it though on the play before the last, and here he is playing it for Brayley. So Clune comes across, puts it in the air. Not a deep kick by any stretch, pretty much a turnover kick. We've had ours, and now it's your turn, boys, and Oates it is who makes the catch, takes it down within 15, or rather 25 of the halfway line, and Eloise Hoyter will play it here for the Broncos as Mam from dummy half finds Martin. Boy, nobody there on his outside pushing up. He was looking for a forward for a carry midway through the set as we are, and there was nobody putting a hand up. Now Flegler combines with Ricky. Good run here. Massive meters for Jordan Ricky. And after contact, takes them back to the halfway line. Flegler through the hands. James, Martin, Mann, numbers here. Hoyter comes to Oates. Steps back away from the sideline. Stopped by Young and also Gagai. Quick play the ball though. Mann will kick it out wide. Chance here for Staggs. Goes up, makes the catch. Dumps it out the back, but he was tackled. And Nari Tuwala was there. And the presence of mind to make the tackle, having been beaten for the ball on the catch. Not a bad kick by Ezra Mam. It was an ad-libber.
Yeah. Did well for Tony Staggs to come down with the footy, just couldn't keep it alive. Tuwala did a good job just to wrap up the ball as Bradman Best driven back here by Kurt Capewell.
Here is Young. Second guessed himself slightly as he came forward towards Reece Kennedy, who's been left on the ground. And he might have suffered a knock here. A little bit wobbly as he gets back to his feet there. That will be a full HIA for Reece Kennedy, given the way he stayed on the ground. Watch it again as Young.
He just
changed the angle.
Yeah.
And he crossed the right shoulder there of Dominic Young. And he wasn't out cold, but he was certainly feeling the ill effects of that contact. They'll go through the charade of the on-field HIA. That was always going to end with him going to the dressing room, so could dispense with the on-field test. Well, he got there anyway, and now Payne Haas comes back on.
Just about to say, I think it's only been a short stint, but that's all they can do tonight with Payne Haas. And unfortunately for Reece Kennedy, he heads up the tunnel, but boy, they needed Payne Haas back onto the field. It is so noticeable when he leaves the field for Brisbane. The work that he gets through is quite incredible for a big man, not only carrying the ball, but just the way he moves defensively.
And of course, when he's off the field, and also the absence again, we mentioned in the first half, Pat Carrigan still miss another couple of games beyond this one tonight before he returns in round 25 for their final clash of the year. They'll be on the road at Cogra against St George Illawarra. Penalty here inside the 40, so currently a set restart. And Tyson Frizzell hanging on too long there, and the play the ball. It'll give Brisbane a chance to come back down here and pad this out again to at least a 16-point lead, if not 18.
I felt Brisbane needed that. They just starting to lose grasp of the momentum. Newcastle on the back of that try to Daniel Saifidi, a bit of energy about them, and Brisbane just a little, as I mentioned before, got the foot off the pedal a fraction. They're not doing things as hard and as aggressive as what they were in the opening half.
Jacob Daniel, all the way there, Jesse Hull.
Well, it is Haas who'll play it. Turpin still looking after things for Billy Walters at dummy half. Flegler here standing in the tackle. Eventually they take him to ground. 3 Knights required to do exactly that. From Reynolds comes to Martin. Here's Capewell. Almost lost the ball. In fact, he did lose the ball, and it was coming free. And that's a good call. It wasn't ripped out. He was asked by Jake Turpin, was that ripped out? But Kurt Capewell said no. Shake of the head. Never had control of it. And there is the outstretched arm of Milford helping to force the ball loose.
Yeah, just did enough, Anthony Milford, just to hit the ball, and we've already discussed time and time again tonight the conditions. Not only is it a little humid, but plenty of rain through the day, and the ball is like a cake of soap. And that time just unable to hang on to it as Phoenix Crossland looks to be injected back into the game for Newcastle.
Running orders from Blake Green, sideline. As Brayley waits at dummy half. The Knights at their own 20, staying in this contest. We've still got a stack of time here to grab another try to close this gap to 6. Here is Jacob Saifidi, who'll work at forward. Stopped there by Haas. Around the legs, Ryan James. Halfway through the set for Newcastle. Crossland in the first receiver immediately. Runs to Brodie Jones, taken down by Flegler. Quickish play the ball though. Brayley, as a result, gives it to Clune. Reynolds couldn't stop the ball. Goes to Bradman Best. Good contest here between Best and Staggs.
Just can't get away
powerfully
from him.
built centres, but Staggs has been on top of that contest all night, and now Best stays on the field. Will he get one around the beak? He'll play it all the same. And now Crossland for Saifidi. 0 tackle. Reese commencement. And the tackle count there, so the Knights get 6 more plays. Here is Brayley for Milford. Finds Hoy. Show of the ball, but sliding sideways as he was. Easily wrapped up by Capewell. Comes back to Milford. Takes it to the line. Gives it to Clune. Chance here. Best will just keep going. Gets across the line. Martin might have held him up. He's gone close. The referee for the moment says no, he got it down.
That's the first time that Bradman Best has got the upper hand on Katoni Staggs, and we were only just saying that Staggs has dominated that battle tonight, that duel on the far side of the field, and this time just watch the speed and the tempo that Milford plays with. Accelerates, shows underneath there, just drags in Jordan Ricky. That allows Clune to get to Adam Reynolds and get Bradman Best just on the outside of Katoni Staggs. Does he get the ball down? Seems to get through the tackle there of Selwyn Cobbo, and using his strength just to spin out of the grasp of Cobbo. It's Martin that's unable to hold up the footy, and it looks like Best has got the ball down. Now Brisbane have come out a little lacklustre in this second half, and Newcastle pick up their second try and a chance to be within 6.
We await confirmation from the bunker for the put down from Bradman Best, who still now realises that it hasn't been confirmed by the bunker at this point.
There was a little concern with Brodie Jones, who hits the outside shoulder on Reynolds. Yeah, black and white. It's no try. Can't do it. To the letter of the law, Brodie Jones runs outside shoulder and makes contact with Adam Reynolds.
And it looks like there'll be a stoppage here and time off while the bunker takes another look at this potential obstruction play. They are nervous now, the Knights players.
Well, it was their best set piece that they've thrown at them all night. As here we go, Peter Goff, referee, going upstairs.
Have a bunker review.
It was done at speed. It was done with purpose, and all of a sudden it gave Bradman Best a chance to get on the outside.
Grounding. The ball is always up. There is no double movement. Just looking to see if the ball gets to the ground.
It might be hard to disprove, certainly from that angle, obscured by legs and bodies. Camera from the other angle might give us the best look at it. The ball there.
The ball is grounded by Bradman Best. We have a decision.
So we're happy with the obstruction.
They passed the obstruction potential, said that was all okay. And the Knights have a second try. Green lights for Bradman Best. It's 18-10 and very much game on.
But can you tell me what the rule is there on an outside shoulder? He makes contact with me, which denies a chance for me to get into that tackle, which leads in a try.
Okay.
Absolutely
So
spot on.
are we playing by the rules or are we not playing by the rules?
You're going to ask a question, allow me to answer it, okay?
I'm asking you what the rule is.
Adam,
Yeah.
they've cleared that contact. It hasn't affected the rest of the defensive line. That's why they've cleared it and gone through for the try,
I
mate.
can't get back into the tackle.
I've explained it, Adam.
Yeah, that just leaves us all perplexed, because all season we've seen that any time there is a lead runner on an outside shoulder of a defender, it is no try. And now we're a month out from finals and it's all okay. So hard to explain to the viewers just exactly what that decision is there. As well, if it sprays a bludger of a kick out to the right-hand side.
That could be very important here for the Newcastle Knights. It stays as an 8-point lead. Watch this again as the play unfolds on the left-hand side. Brodie Jones running the line, gets caught up there with Adam Reynolds, and we've seen that, as you said, called obstruction pretty much all year. What they're saying is Reynolds wouldn't have had a part to play in this contest here with Bradman Best. I guess that's a judgment call. They've gone with that. I think even if Reynolds slides, I don't know that he gets there to stop Bradman Best. But given what we've seen, it is controversial the way it's been called for a number of seasons beyond, of course, just 2022. The miss from Milford, that could really come back to haunt the Newcastle Knights here. The best part of the equation, though, is they're back within 8 and they've still got the best part of 13 minutes as well. Let's go downstairs to Jake Duke.
Yeah, big 13 minutes coming up for the Broncos, Warren, but they are down a couple of troops. Kobe Hetherington has failed his HIA, and Reece Kennedy, we know, is getting assessed for a HIA. If he is available, it won't be until the final couple of minutes of the game, so they're down to 15 at the moment.
There's some pressure here on the Broncos forwards, missing both Kennedy and also Hetherington.
They've been tremendous, the Saifiti brothers, particularly their second stints in this second half. They are dominating through the middle.
Here is Crossland back at the halfway line. Meters coming a bit more easily to the Knights now at the back end of the game. Last play here, Milford. Will kick towards Oates again. Oh boy, he's shanked a conversion attempt, and it's gone into his general play kicking. That's a terrible kick on the last play down the short side. Another shank, and it gives the Broncos a chance here to begin at the halfway line.
Yeah, that's a coach killer. And momentum swing, that one. They were on top. Really good set after points from Newcastle, and that's a shocking kick there from Anthony Milford, sailing out over the near touchline here. That's Suncorp Stadium, and all of a sudden now Brisbane on their first play through Payne Haas up towards the halfway line.
It's the type of game management mistake from Anthony Milford that eventually saw him part company with the Brisbane Broncos, who just couldn't steer them around the park, and of course they end up with Adam Reynolds. And the Broncos' fortunes certainly have been in the ascendancy in 2022. Staggs staying alive here in the tackle of Crossland. He'll play it just outside the 30. 3 gone in this set. Walters at dummy half. He finds Haas pushing up there. Capewell was with him. Haas going a long way there. Good effort by Frizzell to stay with him. Also there is Daniel Saifiti. Walters to the line. Ryan James taken down there by Jones. And the Broncos have one more. They'll go short. Reynolds shows it. Short ball there intended for Ricky. Bounces off his chest. It'll be a restart. 7 tackles from the 20.
Yeah, he's had his troubles with his hands tonight, Jordan Ricky. That was a tough pass. Adam Reynolds deep into the line on the last play and just rocketed off his chest and over the dead ball line. And again, Newcastle with an opportunity. Gagai now out of dummy half. That's the first play, and they're already at the 40-metre line. But you just get the feeling that Newcastle have got the momentum here in the second half. Tuala again carrying the ball. He almost finds a way through. Brisbane just starting to second-guess themselves.
The Knights have only won 4 times since round 2. Remarkable given the way they started the season, but off the back of the win last week against the Tigers, Adam O'Brien had been telling us training the house down. They finally produced something last week. Stiffer opposition here tonight, but here they are, only trailing by the 8. Pass goes to ground. There's some pressure on the Broncos to try and get this win locked down. And now they have to come back to the middle from the sideline, and it's Saifiti, Jacob that is, who'll play it at the halfway line. Brayley goes back to Milford. Looking for that reverse spiral off the inside of the boot that he's produced throughout his career. Oates a good weaving run again on the gallop as he makes the catch and brings it back to almost the 40. Kurt Capewell did well to weave himself. Saw Jacob Saifiti coming out of the line. Kobe Hetherington will tape around that cut on the right eye. Is about to come back onto the field of play by the looks of things.
Gee, that was an ordinary set. 7 tackles they had Newcastle. They didn't get over the halfway line in 7 tackles. And Corey Oates, he's having a great night. Mam now finds a way through.
He's at the 20. 2 plays left. Walters, James, goes to Haas. Here's Reynolds. Finds Staggs on the outside of Best. Corner to the corner. He got it down. It skids away from him. But again, they get to the outside there of Bradman Best, and Cobbo grabs a second try tonight.
Yeah, only moments ago it was Bradman Best that was denied a try down the other end. Sorry, in fact, he got the try down the other end, which was a controversial one. And this time they go up the other end, and it's again some nice interchange of pass through the middle of the field. Reynolds show on the inside to Ricky. That was enough just to drag in Bradman Best. His attention was ball watching. Selwyn Cobbo having a night out on that right-hand side for Brisbane. Again, Reynolds, the mastermind of the attack. They've done that well. Staggs has done a really good job to get on the outside of Best all night and just drag in Chihuahua and give space to Selwyn Cobbo, who picks up his second. He is a star, Selwyn. He is so good to watch.
And he jammed the ball into the ground with such force it skidded away from him. No dramas with the put down. Called a try at live by Peter Goff. It's his 5th double now in his past 10 games, having an enormous season. And looks like being part of a finals campaign for the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, they've had a great season, haven't they, Brisbane? This was an important result tonight after back-to-back losses to the Roosters and Tigers over the last fortnight. Well, I don't think Kevy Walters will be overly pleased with the way they've started the second half. Again, they had some trouble with that a fortnight ago here against the West Tigers, and this is the start of 3 straight home games for them, so a really good opportunity to establish themselves up the ladder. They're starting with that tonight. I think they're up in the 6th position on the live ladder as Reynolds, again, faultless with the boot tonight.
Remarkable how good he is from the right touchline. Converts again. He makes it a big lead now. It's 14 points. Selwyn Cobbo has scored tries in 7 of his last 8 games, Jake Duke.
Yeah, he is a special talent, isn't he, Warren? 3 line breaks tonight, 175 metres, 7 tackle busts. Good to see him back playing some football. It's only his 2nd game returning after that nasty head knock in Origin 3, where he took a little bit longer to get over than he thought. He had some headaches and some issues, but he's back playing now. A big smile on the face there for him. He gets the Broncos a bit of breathing room in this game as the Knights go short. Retrieved there by Corey Oates, but just an update as Corey Oates makes a good run here that Reece Kennedy has passed his HIA, guys.
Good news for Reece Kennedy and the Broncos as they work it here. Corey Oates beautifully positioned again off the kickoff. They've targeted him all night.
He's been fantastic.
Very good.
The back 3 of Brisbane tonight have been huge contributors. Selwyn Cobbo, he's picked up 2 tries in 175 metres, but Corey Oates, he's been tested a number of times and already well over 200 metres tonight. Corey Oates been outstanding.
Capewell has to submit in the tackle for fear of giving away an obstruction penalty. Went behind Ryan James there. Now Haas, from a standing start, tries to get going. He'll play it. 30 out from the Knights line. Walters to Reynolds. Hooked it back towards the uprights. Look at it. It's the charge of the Light Brigade here. Milford had juggled. It's taken dead. Martin was there. They were coming from all angles, the Broncos.
Yeah, and that's been the difference, hasn't it, at different stages tonight. The kicking game of Adam Reynolds, you've only got to think at 18-10, Anthony Milford on the set after points, he puts a kick out on the full. Now a dropout that doesn't go more than 3 or 4 metres. And it's Reynolds that's had the ball on the string. It's been alarming just how significant the kicking game of both sides has been tonight. And Reynolds has dominated that.
Well, with places in the top 8 potentially separated by 4 and against, you'd imagine they'll be going for 6 here as opposed to 2. Awkward kick there. Well, he was trying to kick that one towards the right wing, and they do tackle.
Cobbo had to here, Warren.
It's on the cards. And his price shortening by the play. Reynolds goes to Martin. Another great ball there from Mann. Oh, and then Staggs out here on the left-hand side. Really giving away a penalty, so he just ducked down there. Takes the tackle of Jaden Brayley. Walters, his pass goes to ground. James cleans up. Runs away from Clune, but he's taken here to ground just outside the Broncos 10. Walters for Flegler. Martin keeps it going. Good short ball there for Capewell. Great hands by the back rower. Offload for Flegler. James to Ricky. He had a few moments with his hands tonight. He's still going here. And did he have it stolen one-on-one? Yes, he did. A big play by Daniel Saifidi. Now he's cramping up as well. Good effort by the front rower.
He's had a rough old night, hasn't he, Jordan Ricky, with his hands. Daniel Saifidi did well there. The one-on-one strip, the ball was... Oh, here we go. Capewell's got one back.
And we get a do-over. Ezra Mann. With that fabulous try in the first half. Between himself and Kamari Martin. From Hoyter to Walters. He gives it off to Ryan James. They lead by 14. Inside 4 minutes remaining. And the Broncos on the live ladder find themselves in 6th place. Reynolds for Cobbo! Cobbo comes down. He's got a hat-trick. What a kick by Adam Reynolds. And what a combination they are. Reynolds and Cobbo. It was perfect from Reynolds and a great catch by Selwyn Cobbo.
He's a genius, an absolute genius, Adam Reynolds. And we talk about having the ball on a string. Watch this one. This is an absolute pearler. Close to the line. Haas ball plays out the back, brings up Best and Tuala, and again, oh, it's millimetre perfect right into the hands of Selwyn Cobbo. I had a feeling tonight that the big fella had something up his sleeve for us. Glowing in the Indigenous jersey. And it's Selwyn Cobbo on the end of another Adam Reynolds kick and gets himself a hat-trick at Suncorp. What a star Cobbo is. Brisbane right on top. Right on top and closing it out. 28 points to 10.
Didn't look so certain all that long ago, as you said, until the kick out on the full by Anthony Milford. From that point on, Adam Reynolds has seized the chance. And the great Alfie Langer out there celebrating with Selwyn Cobbo. As we said, the 20-year-old has the world at his feet.
And just loving it, isn't he? Like there's a lot of pressure at the top level, and he's just not feeling any of it. He's just loving life.
Second hat-trick this season, grabbed one.
Second hat-trick.
In Magic Round. In round 10 against the Seagulls right here at Suncorp. Don't tell me it's a rare miss for Adam Reynolds from this right touchline. He's almost just never misses, and it's only his 3rd for the season missing from the far right chalk.
Look at this kick. Look, it is perfection. Absolute perfection from Reynolds. He's had some really nice touches off that right boot tonight, but his last 2 have been perfect. The banana kick back into the in goal to get the repeat set of 6, and now that one down that far side of the field for Cobbo. He's come up with some beauties this year for Cobbo. They are forming a wonderful combination as Brisbane storming up the ladder with this big result.
There they are in 6th place on the live ladder. As they work it forward here, it'll be Staggs to play it just outside their own 10. A couple of possessions left. Might be time for something special here to cap it off and a big win against the Newcastle Knights. Here's Walters. Haas comes to man. Craigswell back on the inside. They'll play it for Walters. Ryan James and Haas pushing up in support. Running support lines. He just has an enormous motor. Payne Haas could have been back there just taking a bit of a breather. Been involved in the earlier going in the set. Now here he is on the next play. Takes it beyond the halfway line. Remember earlier this year they were booing him off the back of the news that his management were making noises about wanting out of the contract. Well, he's a hero again here tonight. 50-metre field goal attempt by Adam Reynolds. Even for him, that was ambitious. Tex Hall work it away. The Broncos run home. As we mentioned, we've got Melbourne next week, the Eels the week after. They finish with the Dragons at Cogra in round 25. Massive next 2 games coming up.
Yeah, huge, aren't they? Yep, huge. That won't be an easy assignment too if the Dragons are still pressing. I mean, it'll take a near miracle, but if they can win tomorrow, they still leave the door ajar, don't they, to make that 8th position. If they can somehow, as Frizzell finds a way through the Brisbane defensive line, that game at Cogra might be important for so many reasons.
There are the Knights. Lasso Sues. We go inside the final 60 seconds. 18-0 at half-time it was. And again here, the Broncos lead by 18 after the Knights scored back-to-back tries through the middle of this second half. Milford cut down by Walters. The Knights themselves next week, they'll take on the Raiders at the Donald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. Short ball from Clune to Jones. They've had his number all night. Clune again for Daniel Saifiti. His first try of the season here in the second half. He might go close here if they ease up on the effort. He was fighting and fighting to the death. Eventually he'll be held up in goal.
10 metres out there, Daniel.
As it turns out, they'll have time for at least one more play here. He plays it from the 10. It's Braylon. Goes to Clune. Milford out the back. Gagler jamming in. Oates got to his man and stopped the ball going any wider. And they will get one more play in. Milford for Frizzell. I know that he wanted it. Here's Milford doing a full 360. Siren sound. He dumps it out the back. Toe forward by Gagai. And that'll do us here this evening. The Broncos tested during the second half, but they held their nerve. And they are close now with win number 13 to locking up a return to finals footy here in 2022. Tonight at home, too good for the Newcastle Knights. They've run out winners 28 points to 10.